When we are talking about the perfect RC crawler, then we need to have a brushless motor, oil suspension, a 2-speed gearbox, metal gear, ball bearings, a light system, 4-wheel steering and a 2-speed gearbox. But we don't want to pay a fortune. Well, in that case, I think I found it. And this is the car I'm talking about, guys. So this car has got it all. So it's made by UDIRC, and if you want something in an RC car, well, they have covered you. So it looks a bit boring, as you can see, but we've got a lot of different stickers to choose from to personalize this car. So inside the box you will get the car, the transmitter, some tools, a 2S LiPo battery, we've got a charger, we've got pretensioners for the shocks, a lot of instructions and a lot of stickers, obviously. But you know, let's have a closer look at the transmitter first. The transmitter runs on 4 AAAs, which you need to supply if you own. So the build quality is very sturdy, we've got a foam wheel and we can use the one-hand steering. And I really like that. So channel number 4 is for the 2-speed gearbox, we've got the on-off switch sitting right over there, and the mode selector for the 2-wheel steer or the 4-wheel steering, and we've got 2 different steering trims. So this one is for the front steering servo and this one is for the rear steering servo, and I really like that. So we've got the steering dual rate and the throttle trim, and that's all to say about it. So let's have a closer look at the car now. And here is the car, guys. What do you think of it? Well, appearance-wise, you can totally customize this car. So I just slammed a couple of stickers on there, but you can totally customize it because you will have a ton of stickers inside the box, and I really like that. So money-wise, you will pay around 130 bucks for this car. Yes, you heard it correctly. So for 130 bucks, you will get a brushless motor, 4-wheel steering. We've got metal gears, ball bearings inside there, you know. We've got even oil suspension or oil shocks inside there, and a light system. So for the money, I think this is already a good car. But you know, let's have a close look at all the details. In the front of the car you will find a straight axle with ball bearings and metal gears inside there. So the linkages is not really my thing. Just look at this, guys. So this just looks like a noodle, and yeah, I really don't like that. So the servo is mounted on top of the axle, so it's an axle mounted servo with the little servo saver sitting right over there. So the rear axle is exactly the same as in the front because it's a 4-wheel steering vehicle, and I really like that. So we've got some oil shocks sitting right over there, and we've got some tensioners if needed. So we've got some headlights right over there, some tail lights over there, and just look at the driver figures, guys. So we've got 2 drivers inside there and even some dashboards, you know, those small things, I always like that. So the battery compartment sits right over there, and the position is a bit strange in my opinion because, you know, when you slide in the battery it's a little bit tail heavy maybe, but we will have to find out when driving. So in the back there you can see the 2-in-1 receiver ESC combination, and yeah, underneath the car you'll find like a 3-4 link setup. So it's not like a true 4-link, another real 3-link, because we've got like an I-link in the top right there. So yeah, I don't know about that, but it is what it is. So like I mentioned, we've got a 2-speed gearbox, so you've got a little tiny servo sitting right over there for the 2 speeds, and we've got an outrunner brushless motor deep inside there. I will show you that in the screen right now. So the setup of this car, you know, that's all fine, but you know, let's throw in the battery and show you when it's on. The car's powered on, and now you can see the headlights and the tail lights, and I really like those. So steering wise, this is the steering speed. You know, we've got plenty of speed and we've got plenty of power as well, so that's all fine. So let me show you the steering mode. So we've got like the 4-wheel steering, we've got the crab steering, so then they go the opposite way from each other, and we've got the normal front wheel and the rear wheel steering. So you've got plenty of options to choose from. So throttle wise, let me show you how slow this car can crawl. So you've got a little tiny outrunner sitting right over there. So let me give just a tiny bit of throttle and you can see it spinning. Do you see that, guys? We've got a very good modulation inside this car. I really like that. But you know, if you want to have some punch to this car, it has some punch as well. So here we go. So this is at a low speed, and that's already a pretty decent speed. So with channel number 4 right over there, all the way to the front, then it's high speed. Just look at this, guys. We've got plenty of motor speed. But you know, for now there's only one thing left to do, and that's take it outside for a spin. So guys, we're out on the test course, and this is the first obstacle that we're going to do. So if a crawler car is any good, it should make it all the way up this big boulder. So I've got very high hopes for this car, so let's see if this one can do it. And here we go. But just look at the modulation, guys. So this is one of the slowest speeds I can go, but look at it go steady and ready. Yes, you know, the motor, the brushless combination in this car is already perfect in my opinion. So this obstacle isn't very difficult for this one, so let's go to the next one. Here we have another very steep incline, so let's see if the UDIRC can do it. But until now, this motor ESC combination is just lovely. You've got tons of control, you know, this is just perfect in my opinion. So the tires are maybe a bit slippery until now, but yeah, we are going to find out when we're going to do some rock crawling. So until now the 4-wheel steering isn't really necessary, but we're going to test that obviously. So this incline isn't really difficult for this car as well, so I've got one more which only the most capable RC cars can do, so let's see if this one can do that one. This is one of the most steep inclines there is, and only the most capable cars are able to get up here. So I had only a few small cars which were able or capable enough to get up this one. But as you can see, the tires are just too slippery until now. And like I mentioned, when we had the car on the table, the battery is positioned in the rear of the car. So inside this little compartment is the battery, and that's a downside because it's a little bit tail heavy, and therefore, you know, the tires just cannot go up here. You know, there's not enough grip. So yeah, this test, it's not going to do it. Maybe with a lot of wheel speed, but yeah, I still, you know, the battery in the rear isn't really beneficial. Oh, well, we're up here with some wheel speed, but it's not optimal. Now let's see how the car performs when we're doing some rock crawling. So this is the terrain where this car is made for, I think. You know, just look at the suspension flex onto now. This is just great. Oh, let's turn on the 4-wheel steering. So 4-wheel steering is, oh, this rear wheel steering. Yes, 4-wheel steering. So let's see which tight corners we can get. Because we can move around a lot of big boulders which are in the way. Ah, just look at it go. Oh, I can see that the rear tires are rubbing a tiny bit against this little yellow part right over there. So that's not ideal. And, well, we're over the big mountain, so let's go up again. So guys, let's try to go up again. So going up is more difficult than going down, obviously. But let's see how this car performs. So I've got pretty high hopes for this car. You know, all the other obstacles, it did a pretty good job with that. But you know, the tires aren't really the best if you ask me. So the compound is a bit too stiff for the weight of this car. And there are not a lot of knobs on there. So yeah, that's not really helping this car. So another thing, this car just have got straight axles instead of porto axles. And therefore they will hang up the big boulders. Well, for the car it's big boulders. For us it's nothing obviously. But yeah, that really doesn't help as well. So let's try a different angle. Because it's a little bit, why doesn't it go up there? I had really high hopes with this car, but until now, oh, here it goes, here we go. It's just about the lines. And maybe some wheel speed, you know. So let's try this one again. No, it's not going to do that. I'm a bit disappointed with the performance when going up, guys. What's going on? So another thing is the battery placement. So the battery is placed in the rear of the car, and that really doesn't help with the performance. So I just, held the car in my hands, and I had the idea that there was more weight in the rear of the car. And for a rock crawler, rock bouncer, that's really not the thing that you would like. But yeah, so that's a bit annoying. So yeah, So I'm just going to play around with this car, and then I will come back to you with my final thoughts. So guys, I've been driving this little car around for a couple of minutes now, but now at a high speed, and I must say I'm pretty impressed with the speed. It's got a pretty decent speed to it, and oh, it tumbles around quite quickly as you can see. But this thing is real fun. So it's a rock crawler and a rock bouncer probably, or maybe just a small basher car, because this thing has got some decent speed to it. But you know, let's get a DPS to see what kind of speeds this little car can do. So guys, GPS is mounted. It's a little bit heavy for this little car, but let's see if we can get a top speed out of it. So here we go, full throttle. This thing really moves. I really like it. Oh, tumbled it, let's recover that. Full throttle, here it comes. Wow, this thing really moves. So the GPS is a little bit too heavy, but still, you know, it's got a pretty decent speed. But let's bring it back slowly, not tumble it again. So here it comes. Let's see what kind of speeds we get with this little thing. So we hit 21 kilometers an hour, guys. So that's a pretty decent speed for a car of this size. So yeah, I really enjoy this car. So I'm just going to play around with it for a couple of more minutes, and then I will give you my final thoughts about this car. guys, that was the drive with all new UDIRC, the UCX24. And what do I think of this car? Well, appearance-wise, I am totally in love with it. But you know, you can choose two different colors. So this is the yellow one, but there's also a red one, I think. So I will put the link down below so you can check it out for yourself. But you can totally customize it. So you will get a lot of stickers with this car, so you can totally personalize it. And I really like that. So performance-wise, I had really high hopes for this car. But you know, it let me down a little bit. So there are a couple of things which I really do not like about this car. So the first thing is this noodle. Just look at this, guy. So when doing some rock crawling, this just flexes too much, and I really don't like that. Another thing are the tires. So the tires don't have got a lot of grip, and the compound is a bit too stiff in my opinion. I really would like to have seen tires like these. So these are very soft rubber tires with a lot of grippy knobs on there. So yeah, the tires, I don't like those, but it is what it is. Another thing what I really don't like is the battery placement. So the battery is positioned in the rear, and therefore there's more weight in the rear of the car, and that really downgrades the performance of this car. And another thing, when put it into the high gear and drive through some grass, it carks. So yeah, when you have a little bit of resistance, it doesn't do anything, as you can see. So yeah, that's a bit of a downside in my opinion. But yeah, besides this, you know, this car, I really like it. We've got 4-wheel steering, the servos has got plenty of power, the motor itself, you know, you've got very low modulation. I totally love that. We've got ball bearings, we've got metal gears, you know, everything works flawlessly. So yeah, for the money, it's about $130 I think it was, and for the money, I think that this is a very good car. Alright guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you've got any questions or suggestions, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.